Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth, and I'm back on my new channel, The Whale Called Moon, for a special tea reading. This tea is actually going to be really different than probably what you would normally see other people drinking. It's bean leaves, bush bean leaves. They have a lot of nutrients in them, and they're very comforting. You can also boil like string beans and make a tea, drink that. It's actually better than what you would expect it to taste like. And I added mint today to my tea. I am going to be working with the whale called Moon today, but I also may pull some cards and ask my guides for clarification and things like that. I do want to mention, like, I've wanted to do this video for a while now, and the reason is because I feel like the mint plant is super amazing for grief. And anybody who's found this video that's going through the grief process, or just maybe has a friend or somebody who's lost someone, I usually recommend mint tea, or getting like a little mint plant for your house or apartment, putting it like on the windowsill or something like that, because the mint plant in general is a great ally for, I don't know, really healing the spirit. I don't know, it's like the one thing that lifted me out of my funk after somebody close to me had passed. So there was two things. There was the mint plant that I actually went and found at like a garden center. And I remember how I felt, because I remember I had been crying like a lot that day. And then I decided, I was like, okay, I'm just going to go to this garden center, you know, in town. And I went to this garden center and found a mint plant, and it just made me feel better. And so you can get a plant, or you can, make a pot of mint tea. It's up to you. But I do encourage you to try it if you're just suffering from grief or a loss, or even if you're just going through a rough patch. Because it's so good for your throat. Anybody who has like throat chakra stuff going on is also something to think about, and maybe you want to try. Now, the other thing too that really helped me was green chili peppers. I remember getting like a cheesesteak sandwich, and they put like all these green chili peppers. And I remember the day, it was again another day that I was just going through my own grief process and just really struggling, and it helped lift me out of the funk. So you might want to add more chili peppers to your foods at this time, but specifically green chili peppers is what did it for me, to really help me lift my mood, lift my spirit. And I do think chili peppers in general are happiness. So like their energy to me is just happy. So those are my suggestions. Before I jump in, I do want to say that I am still offering private readings. You're going to want to check out my website, oracledaphne.com. Also, if you want to send a donation, I am accepting donations, and they are much appreciated at this time. I still don't have a full-time job, so all donations are just really, really helpful. Keep me motivated, keep me going. I have been posting on both this channel and my other Oracle Daphne channel, so I'm working quite a lot to create a lot of content for everybody, and I hope you enjoy this content and this reading. So I'm just going to tune into the tea here just to get started. I see some of you guys are at a crossroads, or you're going to come to like a fork in the road. I see a fork in the road for some, or crossroads for others. It's very interesting. I read a long time ago in this book that, or maybe it wasn't a book, it was just a tradition about leaving an offering at a crossroad for your deceased loved ones. I haven't thought about that in a long time, but for some of you, to me this is deceased loved ones helping you through a transition period time, where you're kind of not sure what to do or what road or path to take. You may want to leave an offering for deceased loved ones in general. I'm seeing that as well. That's something that you may want to do. To leave an offering for a deceased loved one, you just leave whatever it is out like for them, and specifically say out loud, okay, this is for so and so in spirit, and them only, and snap your fingers, and then allow them to basically take the energy from whatever it is you're leaving out. So I like to leave offering for deceased loved ones, like food that they like, or if I make something special, so say I make a really good batch of pancakes, I'll plate up a pancake for one of my deceased loved ones. Or I will, like, if there's a special food that they liked that I'm eating, I'll make up a little dish of food for them to eat. It doesn't have to be a lot, but deceased loved ones like need incentive. They need, like, it really helps. Like if you're trying to manifest, and for whatever reason it's things are moving slowly, the suggestion would be to make an offering to a deceased loved one. Okay, so I'm gonna write down. I gotta write this down. Fork in the road. It was crossroads. Then fork in the road. Okay, let me see what else I see. Some of you have like maybe felt like kind of pressing energy where you wanted to kind of like, I want the words come up for air, like needing to come up for air, is coming through here. Well, do you have anything, Moon, do you have anything to say about that? She's saying to shake it off. So any energies that's making you feel like low or down, shake off. Like literally shake your body, shake your arms and legs, and move on from it. Try not to think about it. If you need to listen to music or do something that's going to really occupy your mind. My guide is actually showing me knitting, sewing, anything with your hands, gardening, anything you do with like both hands. It could be playing the piano, anything like that. It's going to really be awesome to keep your mind focused and like moving forward and not stay down. For some of you, it just feels like you've been down for a while, or maybe some of you are, like underwater in your bills. There's this feeling of being underwater, but it's not by much. So I'm going to pull some cards to get clarification on that one, but that's kind of what I'm seeing here too. I feel like there's a lot of fear around you, to me, like maybe fear around paying your bills or your debts. To me, it's like the energy of like the wolves kind of like, kind of circling, so I want to say, like, I feel like you may not see how you're going to get out of things or get through things, or how you're going to come up for air, but I feel like you will. That's what I want to say. I do want clarification on that. So let me see what I pull here. It's interesting. So we have the King of Swords, and the King of Swords here is to me, this is a deceased loved one, which is interesting because I was talking about maybe leaving like an offering for a deceased loved one. Okay, so I'm noticing in this card, there's all these like birds kind of at his back. So I feel like the energy is maybe you don't feel like people have your back, or there's not a lot of support. I'm just going to write down not a lot of support. People not having your back. For some of you, this is going to sound strange, but for some of you, I see that that you may be tired of fighting. I get the energy from this figure that he, and it could be a she that you're watching, watching whatever gender, is tired of fighting. Like he really wants to put down the sword. He no longer. To me, this is like the end of a battle, or this is the end of a time where there's been a lot of conflict. So yeah, like wanting to put down the sword, wanting not there to be, not, okay, I can't even talk, wanting to no longer be in conflict anymore. I'm just going to write being really tired of conflict. Okay, that's what we've got so far. We also have the Eight of Pentacles as clarification for that. So to me, the crossroad might be something to do with your career. Maybe deciding you want to work from home, or deciding, you want to go, work in like a physical shop, or doing something differently in your career. But to me, the Eight of Pentacles is has a lot of multiple different meanings. I'm going to ask Moon what she wants to say about it. There is a very strong career focus. She's saying something about being strong. And working together with others. It's interesting that this came through in one of my other readings where she had talked about friends. I feel like the Whale Collective is very social. They have strong, a strong social, I don't really know, I wouldn't say hierarchy, but like it's just the way they collaborate with each other. And they rely on each other. So to me, that element of, having a strong network, having a strong business, having a strong, career drive, or work ethic is showing up here. Working well with others, trying to work with others. For some of you who may be doing like collaborations on YouTube, things like that. But also, to me, the Eight of Pentacles can be like electronic message. So this could be emails, texting. It's interesting because we have the King of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. This is like the energy of wanting very much to talk to someone who's passed. And myself, I get this all the time with my dad, where I really just wish I could call him up and be like, hey, this is what's going on with me. This is what's going on with my car. What do you think about this? How are you doing? It's, I wish that we could spend more time together. So, some of you may have that where you really wish that you could spend time with someone who's passed. That's what I'm getting. I pulled some other cards, but I want to see what else comes through with the tea. There's like a wellspring of knowledge that someone has that they could write a book with. I'm just going to write wellspring of knowledge. Or that they, it's like there's information to share. I also am seeing a very deep person. Someone who doesn't maybe share all of their feelings or ideas with others. I'm also seeing like a square and some structure. So some of you are really working to have strong stability or have a strong structure in your life, or building something. You're building something, you're building on something, working towards something. It's like I'm seeing a structure. I'm also seeing, for some, and this is only going to be applicable to some, a kind of square thinking, where it's almost like the mathematical mind, like the almost too logical mind. I would encourage you to maybe take a painting class, maybe join some kind of like discussion group, maybe go back to school for philosophy or art history, or something that's going to be really different and that's going to be mind opening. I feel like for some things you might be open, and then others I see like kind of like a square mentality. Like I think of like a traditional, you might have some very traditional beliefs, or you're very stuck in tradition. And it could be just the way you want things to go in life as well. So like, to me, it's very linear modes of thinking. And Moon is showing me that, to me, there's a wave to life. There's this like wave, there's ups and downs, there's good days and bad days. It's really just not linear. So to me, it's kind of like breaking out of the idea of very traditional beliefs that, or square thinking that are limiting in some way, For example, if you were raised to believe X, Y, and Z, you might not accept somebody else's beliefs, or you might not think that it's that important, or, you might also be around, I want to say you might be around people who have limiting beliefs, or they don't really see you as like a person. They don't really accept you as a person. There might be some judgment as well. I feel like the people that are around you don't really, they're not capable of seeing outside of their own limitations. Let's just put it that way. They think a certain way, they do things a certain way, and they don't understand why you might not want to do them their way. It's very interesting. I lived with this woman once, and she was very set on how she wanted the garbage to go out. And she, like, if you had a granola bar and you had a wrapper from that granola bar and you put it in the garbage, that was the only thing in there, she would still want you to take it out. That was the way, that's what she wanted. There was no like waiting for the garbage to become half full or at least a little bit fuller or full all the way. It was more of just like everything that you put in there, you had to take out immediately. And this is just kind of, a kind of belief or the way she wanted things to be, that was limiting her. Like, that was how she wanted to be. There was no discussion about it. That's just how she wanted it. The end. And to me, that's very limiting. Now, we all have our own habits and things that we do, but sometimes those things can limit us. So just examine how you can become more like Moon, who kind of floats in the waves and thinks in a little bit less rigid way. Okay, I'm running out of battery here. I have to end here. Thank you guys so much. Please like, please share, please donate. I'll be back again soon. All right, take care. Big hugs, big kisses. Bye.